Okay, so one thing I want to remind you about, I forgot to do it, but I want you to see is, you see how on this side of the building our sill is 1'6". We want our sills to be the same, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm in my corridor. I just have that section cut through my stair there. I just want those to be 1'6", and then the bottom of those will line up. I can go to a 3D view or actually I can just, yeah, go to a quick 3D view and go around to the stairwell on this side and make sure all of those are also at 1'6". I kind of want that to be consistent. So there we go. All right. So let's get back to the second floor and getting our rooms laid out. So we've got our first two. We also want to make sure that we continue on, and we're going to wrap our rooms, and we're going to move this general direction over and around, okay, just for consistency's sake. So I'm going to go ahead and back and get another room. This is going to be our mechanical space, so that's going to be oh, we don't want that to be 202B. We want this to be what? 204. So we need to go in here and change this to 204. Then we'll get another room. This will be 204A. All right, and we know these are called mechanical and environmental. So I'll go back here and environmental. All right. So we've got that. We'll hold off on our stair right now. We'll move to this area out here. All right. So if I want this to be like the first floor, I'm going to have a couple of corridors and then a circulation space. So this is going to be circulation, and then we're going to have a few corridors. So let's go back to the second floor, and we will draw the line right here. The room separation line, that is, right? So our room separator will draw from here over to here, okay? And so, you know, as I'm thinking, it would be probably nice to have some light in this space right here too, because if we look at it right now, that space is kind of closed off on this end of the building. So maybe we can put some of those 8-foot windows in there. Let's try and see if that'll work. All right, let's go back to our second floor. And let's go down here to these windows, and I'm going to say create similar, and I'm going to put one of these 8-foot windows right here. And let's see, I think just one will fit. Well, what if I put an 8-foot one, and then right next to it I put one of the smaller ones, right? See how that looks. A large one and the small one, right? Whoops, we got to flip that one. Sorry. So we're okay now. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. That doesn't look too terribly bad. We need to raise these up to 1'6", of course, for the sill height. All right, not too terribly bad. Let's go out here, let's get the dimensions on those, see what they are, and adjust them as needed. So if I go to annotate, and again, these are some dimensions just to kind of help me see where things are. So that first one, let's make it 5 foot, right? And then let's see what this next dimension is from the center of this window to the center of that one. That's 7 foot 1 11/16. Let's make it just 7 foot. Whoops. 7'0". Right? All right. So we got those two in there in this nice circulation space, right? So now I can just grab them and hold on a second. I gotta flip that one. There we go. Now that's right. I'll grab those, copy, and paste a line to the 3rd and 4th floor. And then now in 3D we go in, and now we've got our windows on that end of the building. They look pretty good, huh? Not too terribly bad. Okay, now let's get that space labeled. Now that we can, so we're going to call this circulation. And there's a lot of things that could happen in a space like this. This is going to be 205. And you could put vending machines out here. You can put seating out here, because if these people have clients or guests or that are visiting them, they could basically wait in this area. You could even have a receptionist on each floor out here that kind of controlled the traffic in the area, because again, this is a pharmaceutical building, so it could be very sensitive as far as who you'd want in here at any given time. So we'll just keep that in mind as we go on. So that's 205. Maybe we'll make this corridor 206. So we have to think about, where are we going to divide up space for this corridor? First of all, I'm going to have that, I'll have that open in. I can do that because this is I don't have to have a door necessarily opening out. And I don't, of course, want it necessarily opening out into the space here for someone to just run into. Even though this isn't truly a corridor, this is circulation space. This is okay, but I'm not thrilled with it, so I'm just going to have that open in. Okay. All right, so let's think about where we need to divide this off. Let's draw a room separation line. Let's put one maybe right here. Right. Let's see how this will work best. I'll draw to there and then to there, right? So now that space will be separate off, and this will be a separate corridor. So this is the circulation is 205. Let's call this is a lab. We'll make that 206. Let's go in here. This corridor, this part of the corridor can be 207. Whoops, let's fix that. And then remember, down the first floor, we got this main lab and corridors. We really don't have any offices down here. So when we go back up here, these are first sets of offices. So this is going to be 208, right? And this is going to be office. All right. Can we copy this to the next door? Can we hover and tab and click and say, copy this to this room? Can we do that? Yeah, but you don't want to. All right. Because see how you don't get the tag to come with it? Again, there's usually no shortcut. There's not really a good shortcut to making rooms, right? So you just place them and you just take the time to do it. And that's what we're doing right now. There's 211, there's 212, right? This corridor can be 213. This office will be 214, right? It's taking its time. It's probably just my slow computer. There's 215, 216, and 217. Hopefully this last one will start placing in a second. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to change. Of course, this is a corridor. All right. This is copy/storage. All right. All right. And the rest of these just need to be relabeled as offices. Okay. So, or office, not offices. So, again, this can be a tedious task, but this is what is going to help us be able to just generate a schedule. And that is why we want to label these this way. So then we can get for those of you in the advanced Revit class, you know, when you generate that schedule, you're able to get your square footages total, right? And that will pretty much wrap it up for this floor. And we're going to do the third and the fourth floors the exact same way, right? Um, because we're only going to show on our plan, on our sheets, when we make our sheets next week, we're only going to show the first floor and then the second floor, and then we're going to list the third and the fourth floor as similar because we don't want to take up a bunch of sheets showing each one of them. Basically, floors 2, 3, and 4 are identical. So we don't need a plan for each one. All we need to do is show one of them and then let them know that floors 3 and 4 are identical. And that's the nice thing about Revit. We'll be able to do that easily. Now, we've been doing that for years when floors are similar like that. It's not necessary to show every single one. If there were some differences, we would show them, but there's not. So go ahead and let's get this portion done on the second floor, and then we'll move on to the next piece of our work today. I'll give you probably about 15 or 20, maybe 15 minutes or so, so till 9:30 to pick up this one. I'll get this video posted, and we'll move on to the next one around 9:30.